It's lunch break. Don't bother me. Okay, well, I'll just repeat myself. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Shauna and I'm a 3D artist living in Canada. I'm making this video as a tutorial to my body art base mesh for Procreate. I guess I'll come up with a better name at some other time. Essentially, I created this as a way for tattoo artists to conceptualize and map out ideas and concepts for body art, because as someone with a lot of tattoos, I know you can't tell in what I'm wearing right now, maybe that's for another video. I actually bought an iPad so I could take photos of myself and draw tattoos on myself. I know that it is incredibly difficult to plan out and map something like a bodysuit, and I thought with my 3D background I could create something to bridge the gap between 2D and 3D. When you download the package, it'll come with a Procreate scene file. To load this into Procreate, all you have to do is drag the file into Procreate and voila. We have at the top the brows and lashes, second we have the body, and then we have the eyes. So I've made these three base skin tones. We have the dark base, the medium skin tone base, and the light skin tone base. If you want to adjust one of these skin tones, you can duplicate the layer. I would just say remember to expand this cube, select the color layer only so you're not adjusting the roughness and metalness. But you can adjust the brightness, adjust the saturation, the hue slightly, whatever works for you. And then we have the eyes. So if you adjust one of the eyes, it will actually update both of the eyes. You can see this layer is shared, and it's actually shared with this other eye down here. So if you add a layer to one eye, it'll add to the other eye, which makes things pretty simple. Under extras, I have this guides layer. I really just created these guides because if you go up to settings, you have under 3D the option to show 2D texture. So if you flip that on, you can see the UVs. You can see the texture on the model laid out flat. And unfortunately, this means it looks like very terrifying human roadkill. As you can see, the UVs are not symmetrical. So if you draw a pattern on one leg, you can flip it, rotate it, and move it over to the other side. So if we go back to the 3D version, I've made this design group here under the body, and this is where you can start drawing your designs. Let's do an example. Something you should know about Procreate, if you tap on this little cube icon next to the layer, there is a color map, a roughness map, and a metallic map. So just to demonstrate what those different layers do, the color map is obviously the color. The roughness is how shiny or dull something is. So if you think about it like white is 100% rough, black is 0% rough. So if I were to adjust this roughness layer, if I make it darker, she becomes incredibly shiny. So that is 0 roughness. If I put it all the way up to 100, then she becomes very rough. So the light is being absorbed by the rough surface. So if you would like to make adjustments to this roughness layer, you can. It's just a little bit difficult. There isn't a way that I know to view this roughness layer, because if I have it selected and I go to show 2D texture, it still just shows the color layer. So maybe that's something they can improve for the future. The metallic layer is how metal something is. Since this is an organic character model. There's not any metal on it. So that's generally set to black, which means no metal. For this scene, I have actually set up the lights and environment already. You can change them to your preference. If you go to settings under 3D, it says edit lighting and environment. If you select that, it'll bring up the lights. It's really simple to use. You just drag the cubes around to adjust them, and to change the brightness or color, you just tap on the cube. You can up the intensity, saturation, the hue. You can also change the background, so you can really customize your own scene. Another kind of troubleshooting issue that I've come across when messing around with the lighting is if I am looking at the model like this, so you can see the background color is different, and then I hit done, it will save that angle of lighting as my lighting for the scene, which is a little bit strange. So to fix that, I just go back into the lighting settings, I rotate, look at it at a more straight on angle, which is how I tailored the lighting, and then I hit done, and it will keep the same lighting no matter which direction you're facing. I have also come across an error where the background will be completely black, and when you go to edit your lights, they'll be black too, and you can't see anything. If that happens, I would recommend just closing Procreate, reopen it, and it's been fine every time it's happened to me. I don't know what caused it, but I know how to fix it, so that's all that matters. I really just started with this base mesh because it's similar to my own body type, and I could easily use myself for reference, for proportions. I also wanted something fairly generic. I don't want to get too specific with any of the features because this is merely meant as a tool to see how the art might look on a body, but of course the result is always going to be different. However, for the future, I plan on having a lot more different body types as well as poses for these characters, so you can see how the art might move with the body. And the beauty with that is that if you draw a design on one body, it'll be transferable to those other body types as well as any poses that I may create in the future. I was really just excited to get this idea out there and share it with you guys in a cohesive way that makes sense. I really like the idea of helping 2D artists use 3D because I know how frustrating it can be, and I have spent many long nights working out the kinks of this. So if you have any requests, things that you would like to see for future updates, or questions when using it, please comment down below and I will do my best to answer them and include those changes in future updates. I would also really love and appreciate to see your creations, whether you post them publicly or not. I would love to see them, see how it turns out, any challenges you had with it, and if you do post with this, please just share my page and where you got it from. I am CRaven on Instagram. I will link it below or whatever. And I will also provide a link to the Gumroad where you can purchase this kit. Thank you. A beautiful flower. Whee. Okay. Merge layers. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Classic.